Timberborn Update 5 is a huge update with lots of new features, new buildings and new challenges. In this video you will learn not about 5 new things, not 10, but 30 new things you need to know about Update 5. Let's see what's new. The biggest thing in Update 5 is Badwater. So you see this red brownish liquid that floats all the way around our map is deadly. It kills everything within seconds, but you might think, well, if it's outside of the city, if it's not the main source of liquid, why does it matter? Well, this is the second big thing we have in Timberborn, and that is the Badtide season. So what is that? You know how you have a regular season and then you have dry season? Well, now, every now and then, instead of getting dry season, you will get Badtide season. And what that does is actually have your regular water source blocks that release regular water. They will now release Badtide water. So you see all the forests here, all the farms, all the plants and everything will die instantly. So here's the Badtide, and as you can see, the red kind of poisons the earth. And let's see what happens to our tree. It dies in 0.2 days. This is also a new block which I'll go through just in a few minutes. But as you see, that is in 0.1 day, and some of them are dead because the contaminated earth kinda got to them, and some of them, these at the end, are simply dried out. And here as well, these are dried out right now. So they are fine. And they are fine because of the contamination barrier. So you see, this is just dried earth and not contaminated. But here, it's contaminated, and dandelion died, but everything else is dead. And you see my beaver here, he swims through here, and this is really dangerous. Beavers that swim through or walk through the bad water get contaminated. And this is a really bad thing. So right now they are still working, very soon they will be contaminated and they won't be able to work at all. But they will eat and drink everything like regular beavers. And at the same time, if they live in the same building as a healthy beaver, they will not be able to reproduce, which just stops everything developing, and you will spend quite a few hours repairing that damage. So the easiest way to actually make sure this doesn't happen is to remove the road and the stairs here. Just pause it for a second, get a nice bridge, something like this, and now your beavers, as you can see, will not touch the water and they will stay healthy, except these two. And now, as you can see, after a few days, some beavers are unwell, and that's what it means, they are contaminated. And what can we do about that? If you play Folktales, you will see a new building. In the well-being section, there is herbalist. So before it was called medicine something, now it's herbalist, it's back. It was removed in the early versions of Update 5, but now it's back for the Folktales. And here, as you can see, we have one worker. This one worker needs one dandelion, which is also back, and one berry to produce 2 antidotes. So this has been running for a few days, and I have a medium-sized tank where all the antidotes can be collected. And when they are unwell, they can come here, get some antidote and be healthy within a few days. So it's not going to be instant like that. But this is a really important thing, and I know the herbalist is a bit expensive. Some planks, some gears and some treated planks as well, but it's definitely worth it. And if you're in Iron Teeth faction, you will need to do a few steps to get the healthy beavers. First, we have the deep water pump. Well, as it sounds, pump all the bad water. So it will pump up all the water. I have a medium tank here with lots of it. Then it will send all that bad water to the centrifuge. So as you can see here, bad water plus some logs will create some extract. And then you can use extract for a few other things, but for healing you will need the contamination pod. So as you can see, right now it has 10 out of 10 extract, and your unwell beavers, contaminated beavers, will just get here, sit here for a while and be good after a few days. But we have to remember, the decontamination pods need power. And by the way, Folktales also has bad water pump and centrifuge, so both will be able to create extract, and after that a whole new world opens up for your beavers and yourself. If you are playing Iron Teeth and you create the bad water, the centrifuge, and you get the extract, there is a new building for you, which is called Greasy Factory. So here, in the Greasy Factory, beavers take extract and some canola oil and create grease. So this is what the extract looks like. It's green, kind of like Hulk. And then we have the canola oil. And on the all the way left, we have grease. And what's grease being used for? Your beaver boats run on energy, which they are recharging here at the charging station. But if they have grease, they work harder, simply as that. What else do we have? We have a new breeding pod, which is called Advanced Breeding Pod. So what are the difference between the regular breeding pod and the advanced one? As you can see here, the regular one needs water and some berries to create a baby iron-teeth beaver. But for the advanced breeding pod, you need berries and extract to create a grown-up beaver. So you will not need to spend time and food and water on a baby beaver until it can work. It will straight up create a grown-up and that can work straight away. And for the Folktales, up here we have the Badwater pumps. They pump up the bad water. Then we have our centrifuge right down here. As you can see, 4 bad water and 0.1 logs create 1 extract. And for the Folktales, the extract can be used to create more powerful dynamites. So we have the regular one, which will just blow up 1 block. But then we'll also have one that will blow up 2 blocks deep and 3 blocks deep as well. Let's see here. Here we have all the 3 dynamites. Let's blow them up. As you see, the first one, just 1 block. The second one, 2 blocks. And the third one is 3 blocks deep. Another thing you will need extract for is the dirt excavator. So as you can see right now, we need to add extract and of course the power, the electricity, and it will produce dirt. So that's one more use for the extract. And the last thing we're gonna need extract for is actually for the refinery. If we look here, we get extract and maple syrup to create catalyst. That's a new recipe. And as you can see, the developers are really changing things up. So we actually get to use the new features or are being forced to use them, which to a degree I kind of like. Otherwise, all the new features would be unnecessary. And let's see here what it looks like when the bad water disappears. So now the good water is pumping here. And you see, it mixes up really nicely. They did a really good job with that. Let's speed things up here. All the green is back. Look at that. When you are late in the game, there are 2 new buildings that will really help you out with bad water. The first one is Badwater Dome. So this is what it looks like. And what Badwater Dome does is actually closes off the bad water source block. And you can of course open it up whenever you want or close it down. So it's a really nice feature when you want to control the bad water. And we also have bad water rig. So let's see here, place it down. And what this one does is closes off the bad water, but you can have people working here so they can just collect the bad water for your tank instead of having it run all the time and have water pumps. But as you can see, these are really expensive. Badwater Dome is 100 planks, 200 gears and 100 metal stuff. And the rig is even more expensive. 400 gears, 200 treated planks and 150 metal. So this is a really late game, but it's really nice to have. And by the way, these 2 are only for the Folktales. We also have contamination barrier that I talked about earlier. If you place contamination barrier all the way around like I did here, they will not be contaminated unless the bad water reaches, which is about 7 blocks. So for example, we have bad water in this place right here. Well, then it has a block or a radius of 7 blocks. So it can still kill right here, as you can see, all the way from here. But it will not kill anything, for example, right here or in this area either. You might not be able to get contamination barrier straight away, but it's a good thing to plan. So you have room for it down close to the water. And if you wanted large water pump from the Iron Teeth, now we have it in the Folktales as well. So let's find a spot here. There we go. Let's get a regular water pump. Now look at this. Now we have 2 different water pumps. The regular one, which is 1 person working, 0.33 hours for 1 bucket of water. Then we have a big or large water pump, which is 3 people working, and you get 5 buckets of water in 0.33. So it's quite a bit of more efficient, probably 66%. So it's really worth to have it instead of a couple of small ones. But it's also quite a bit more expensive. So you need 20 logs, 5 gears and 10 treated planks compared to the only 12 logs for the small one. I have mentioned the herbalist, which is fantastic to have it back. And then we also have a dancing hall, which is another new building. There we have it. Let's connect it to the road. And this is where all the dancing happens. It's in the well-being area and it costs 10 or 100 logs, 50 treated planks and 20 metals. Let's see them dance. So this is all new animation. And I think this looks really nice. So let's go down to the evening where the lights are on and more people are dancing. Look at this. This is awesome. And a lot of people can be here. This is a similar building as the campfire, rooftop fire or rooftop terrace. Just a place they can sit, enjoy when they are not working. The new stuff that Iron Teeth got, well, one of the things is irrigation barrier, which is the same thing as contamination barrier from Folktales. It is a bit more expensive, 10 logs and 5 treated planks, but they do work the same way. A way to control Badwater for Iron Teeth is Badwater discharge. Badwater discharge works exactly the same way as Badwater dome. You can close it and open it up. It has a nice animation. Hang on, let's close this one up. Let's see here. So now it's closed. Let's open it up. So that looks really cool. And it fits really well with the Iron Teeth. I'm glad that it made a bit of a difference, so it really fits with the Iron Teeth Folktale. And then we also got Motivatorium. So as you can see, it's a building that needs power, and what it does is actually motivates your beavers. Right now there is a bit of a theater going on. It's a beautiful building, nicely done in 3D. You see the beavers walking in, sitting on the benches and enjoying the show. It's very similar to the dancing hall for the Folktales. And that was it. Huge update for Timberborn. Will be released very soon, I assume. It has been out for about 2 months now for those who dare to try experimental mode. If you want, you can do that as well. It's free. Just in the Steam game settings, you can choose experimental branch. Otherwise, this was all. If you want to see more Timberborn, there is a video right up here. Thanks so much for watching and see you next time.